Welcome to the Naked Peaches. I'm Anna.
I'm Taylor.
And it's Tuesday.
Yay! Okay, I need to update you on my eyelash journey.
How many eyelashes do you have left?
Not many. I lost a lot of eyelashes in the battle last week. I did find a way to remove the goo that was stuck to my lashes that was giving me like the 3 spiky lashes. And I used the Garnier Micellar waterproof water.
Okay, waterproof water.
Waterproof micellar water. I don't know what this shit is, but it worked. But I lost a lot of eyelashes. Like I had to really like work it in there to get the goo off. And I lost a lot of eyelashes. And now when I have just regular mascara on right now and I just feel like they're looking a little sad. So I'm going to be recovering for months now. My lashes need to grow back.
Are you done using this stuff or are you going to keep using it?
Well, I don't know. I thought about putting them on today. So I love to just like do things that are bad for me that feel good in the moment. You know? So like I wouldn't count them out.
Yeah. Okay. I think you should maybe just consider switching brands. We can go into that later today, but
I probably should.
For the safety of your eyelashes.
I know. The underneath lashes are just, it's a whole different commitment than like a regular strip lash, I think. Yeah. So I probably need to switch brands.
Okay, so my update is that so Gavin's gone. He's on a business trip again. This is a 10-day business trip, and so I'm doing some solo parenting right now, and I am not meant to be a solo parent. Let's just put it like it's like, and the thing is, everything's fine. Like nothing is like happening that's really bad, but like. Yeah, yesterday morning I was trying to get ready and like she's walking now. She's getting into everything, loves to like grab drawers, pull on stuff, and I had to poop really bad. And I'm trying to go to the bathroom and like also contain her in some way so that she's not like, choking herself on a cord or whatever because she loves cords. And I like almost pooped myself trying to get into the bathroom and take my pants off while also making sure that she's not.
Wait, where did you put her? What do you do with her?
I had her near me, like, but I was just trying to like, basically I like had the laundry basket and I just threw like a bunch of clothes in there really quick and like turned it upside down. So she was like, oh, what is this? For like 30 seconds so I could poop and then really quickly make sure she didn't run off again.
Wow.
So that's like what's happening in my world right now.
That sounds really stressful.
Yeah. And then also, I was briefly telling you about this, but because we're going to Italy in a couple months, I'm really trying to convince my grandma from Bulgaria to come with us because she's like a historian and loves history, but has never been to Rome before, so she like needs to go. But she's a smoker and was telling me yesterday that Italy has some kind of ban now on like smoking like in public areas and restaurants, and she's like, I will die. Like I can't not smoke. I need, and I was like, Grandma, let me get you a vape. Like, don't worry. I will get you every vape. And she's convinced that it's not the same. But, like, I think the nicotine hit is going to be the same, right? Like, it'll hold her over for, like, 4 days.
Yeah. You get the same rush, and it tastes better.
Okay.
I think vaping is more addictive than nicotine, or than smoking. She's going to become a vape queen.
A vape queen, yeah.
By the time this trip is over.
Yeah.
Maybe you should ship her a vape now so she can try it and experience it, and then she can see that it's like just as good as the real thing.
That's a great idea.
There's a vape shop right up the street. We can go after this.
Okay. Can you ship vapes like internationally?
Probably not. You might need to order it from like a website in Europe. Yeah.
Okay. We'll look it up together.
Yeah.
I'll keep everyone updated. But I'm like, Grandma, you'll be like so chic, like vaping your like vape near the Coliseum.
A lot of people vape in Europe.
Yeah. Well, a lot of people smoke in Europe, so it's like they're obviously vaping, and like she's just, I don't know. I was like telling her about it. She's like, no, there's no way. Like she calls it the electronic cigarette. She's like, there's no way the electronic cigarette's gonna be the same. And I'm like, Grandma, like it's fine. Like you're just gonna get your nicotine hit. It's all you're gonna need just for a couple of days. And she was like, not having it, but I think I can convince her.
Yeah, you could even get her a Juul because like. The Juul tastes more like a cigarette, and like they have like a tobacco flavored one that might be like.
I think that's what we need. I think we need like the most cigarette like vape possible, and that's what I will bring to my grandma.
Okay, we'll get your grandma a Juul.
Okay, perfect.
I love this plan.
Oh, speaking of which, how's your vape journey going?
I mean, dude, last week I reported that I had purchased a vape, and I was like, when I first started back up again, I was kind of like, I would hit it here and there, and I was like trying to like set it aside and not have it with me all the time. last night I was laying in bed, realized that I had just been chain vaping all day long. And I just am like, I'm back full force, like 100, like nicotine going into my bloodstream constantly. And I'm just like, how did I get here? Like a couple weeks ago, I was literally nicotine free. And like, it's just crazy how like fast you can get back into it. So I don't know what my plan is yet for quitting again. I do need to quit. I'm sorry, Posse, if you're bored of hearing about this, but this is just what's happening, so.
Do you think you're going to need to, like, restart the whole process again, like the gum and the patches?
God, I, like, don't want to, but I'll probably have to.
Yeah.
Because I could not do cold turkey before. Like, I was, like, having a mental health crisis when I tried to do cold turkey.
Yeah, you were not okay.
But I'll keep you guys updated. Next week, my commitment is next week I'll have a quit date.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's progress. It's progress.
Okay, should we introduce our guest?
Let's do it.
All right. Welcome, Catherine.
Thank you.
Thanks for joining us.
Yes, thank you for having me.
Yeah. So Catherine is one of our OG makeup artists at Naked Peach. We've been working together for how long?
I think over 2 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
It's been a long time. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you were with us at the old studio,
Yes.
the tiny studio. And you were like one of the first makeup artists we started working with at that space.
I think so. Yeah. Yeah.
Which is so crazy. We've been through so much together.
I know.
We've watched each other's businesses grow.
Yes, I love it.
Were you still doing social work when we started working together?
I think I was briefly doing it. Almost exited it, but yeah, I think I was, just almost done with it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Have you always done your, like, makeup and all? Well, it's not just makeup because you do a ton of stuff in the beauty industry, which we'll get to. But have you always done that with the social work in the beginning, or were you fully, like, or were you not doing any of it?
Yeah, I think the last 6 months of me working in the social work field were a mix of makeup and nails and just, full time. And then I would just go home and do nails and makeup on the weekends. And school for a little bit.
Oh my God.
I know. It was
like beauty school?
Yeah, I had to go to beauty school for the aesthetics program to be able to do makeup. So then I would do aesthetics on Saturday, nails after work on like Monday and Wednesday, and then my full-time job, and then just like freelancing here and there. I know it was a lot. It was a crazy time in my life.
How long was that for?
That was probably for a good 3 months of like school, work, and freelancing. I was crazy. Like my school started at 10 and then I would like somehow jobs would find me and it's like, oh, can you come and do a makeup at 7 a.m.? And so then I would do that and then jump up to school, and then maybe there's times where I had evening makeups too, and then I would like go after school. It was crazy. It was but I'm glad I did it. I feel like that's how I was able to constantly be busy even after quitting my full-time job, just because I had the established clientele already with nails too. Yeah.
What was that one thing that made you like jump to basically be like, okay, I'm gonna do beauty full time, like taking a leave?
I feel like it was, so I was like ready, right? I think I was ready. I mean, I would dread going to work. I would dread being in the office. It was just really like boring. I think that love of social work just wasn't there anymore. I loved the connections with people, which I think that's how it crossed over to the beauty. But it was actually like a fight with my supervisor that made me like quit. Yeah, I had almost like told her like I'm gonna quit, and she was like, okay, like don't quit. I'll work around your schedule. If you need to go do makeup, you can go during your lunch. You don't even have to take PTO. And then on a weekend that I had to freelance, my tire like popped, right? On a weekend coming back from Seattle. And I was like, hey, tomorrow, like I need to start at 10 a.m. because I need to take my car to Le Schwab. And then she was like, absolutely not. Like you have to come into the office. And I'm like, you literally just said you would work with me for my job, for like freelancing, but this is literally nothing to do with freelancing. This is like my personal car. Like, you know,
how are you supposed to come into the office?
I know. And then I had my computer because we were doing hybrid where we could work at home. And she's like, no, because if you're working at home, then everybody's gonna think that they can do that, except like there's this guy that she would let him work from home because he had kids, and I was like, everybody in this team has kids. She was just biased. I 100% believe she was biased. Anyway, so I was like, okay, so this is how it's gonna be. She just wanted to like sugarcoat it when she told me she would work with me, but now that it came to like a personal, like not business, anything to do with my business, so I was like, you know what, I'll make it in. I made it in. My husband took care of the car, and then I put my resignation right at lunchtime. And then that was it. And I quit. And so that pushed me to actually make the move. And I quit. And 2 weeks later, I was doing full-time makeup. Wow. And I actually like got hired onto like one of the biggest projects, which was like a commercial for Hannah the Pet Society, doing makeup for like their people because they were gonna interview.
I thought you were gonna say the animals.
Yeah, I know when I
someday.
Yeah, someday maybe. So yeah, and that was like a 3-day ordeal, and I wouldn't have been able to do that if I hadn't quit on time. So yeah, it didn't happen planned. It just kind of happened like being pushed to do it, even though I was ready to. But if I hadn't that push, like I mean, I was at my job for like 8 years.
Wow.
Yeah, since I was 19. Like
I knew that about you.
Yeah, I started social work really, really, really young. So, but I'm just glad that I'm here now. Yeah. It's been 3 years since that time. Yeah.
Wow. And look at you now. Your business is like thriving.
Yeah, you're thriving.
Thank you.
And you seem so busy.
Yeah, it's so busy, and so many different like things that you do besides, you know, it's like the hair, the makeup, the permanent jewelry.
Yes.
The nails. Like what am I missing? I feel like there's even more.
I briefly do teeth whitening. Yeah,
that's right.
I was just like a little filler service, but yeah, I wanted to master everything before I started like a next service, right? So I started with makeup and then added on nails, and then you know that was like 2 years just doing that, and then recently last year at the end of the year I started permanent jewelry. And I'm loving it. I think I have picked services that just can go with each other. And I get clients from, you know, nails to makeup to nails. And permanent jewelry has been like that little filler that fits in both categories. So, yeah.
Also, like, when we say Catherine does nails, it's not like she just does nails. Like, literally right now, her nails, she has, like, these tiny little daisies, like, drawn on her nails, and they're the cutest things ever.
I'm going to break it to you. It is stickers.
Well, still.
It doesn't matter either way.
Your nails always look amazing.
Thank you.
And the ones you do for people, like, you do really cool designs and, like, elaborate nail art. It's not just, like, you know, your basic, you know.
We'll take a photo of your nails today, and we'll post it on the story.
Oh, my God.
As the episode comes out so people can see. But you always have the coolest designs.
Thank you so much. Yeah, with nails, I wanted it to be different. I wanted to be a service that really actually took care of your nails and the aesthetic of like clean up the cuticle. I do a thing called the dry manicure where you clean up the cuticle, you make it nice. You're not cutting any live, you know, skin, but it really makes a difference with like how long your nails last. Like my sets are lasting like 4 to 6 weeks. So people aren't coming back every 2 weeks. Yeah. I hope that is something that, you know, makes me look like apart from the rest. And yeah, and then nail art, love nail art too. Yeah.
Last year, there was a day where we had like a last minute cancellation of a session, and it was like, I think it was maybe around my birthday or something, and I was like, I need a break from doing my own nails. Like, I'm going to use this cancellation because Catherine was the makeup artist booked for that day.
Yes.
I was like, I'm going to use this cancellation and I'm going to like go get my nails done instead. So you did my nails.
Yeah, so you came up, and then we did like a pink with foil, right?
Yeah, it was really
super
pretty.
Cute. Yes.
And it was also like the longest my nails have ever lasted, and like the shine. Like I still think about how perfectly shiny they stayed, because like these nails are like 2.5 weeks old that I have right now, and like they're kind of dull. Like the shine has faded and they're almost getting like matte. But like the way these nails Catherine did stayed glossy the whole time was like, I've never seen anything like it. It was incredible. Like it's just like I feel like it's like artistry, you know? It's not just like
and it's a matter of like picking products that you really actually trust and that you you know, that are going to give quality, because I think like one of the things that you really have to look for is something that's going to last longer than 2 weeks. So having those products and hand picking them and not just like grabbing things just because they're cheap, right?
We have been talking for a while about going to the beauty supply store together because
Yes.
they have like apparently like all of the like nail decals and
Yes.
accessories and charms that you could ever want. So that's my
It
dream.
is dangerous.
Someday we'll
Yes,
go
we
together.
will. We definitely need to do that for sure. Yes.
Do you feel like you have a problem when you go there where you're like, I just want to buy everything for my business?
Yes.
Yeah.
100%.
It's
Yeah.
like us with lingerie.
Yeah.
Yes. I'm like, I'm just gonna go for some files, and my husband's like waiting out in the car. Okay. And then I come out with like a whole bag. He's like, you didn't just get files, huh? I'm like, no. You know me. I would not just get files. No.
I remember you telling us about like going to the nail show. Can you tell us like what
Yes.
happens at the nail show?
At the nail,
Wait, what
yes,
is
the
the
nail
nail show?
expo.
Oh.
Yeah, which is actually coming up in May. So all of the nail brands are there. The items are a little cheaper, and you just walk through halls of just nails and things that you just see online, and it's crazy. It's really crazy.
Are they doing like live manicures for people?
There is some live classes that they're doing, mostly with art, but on like the following Mondays there is classes that you can take with the individual like nail brands, just depending on like what you're looking for. There's like, you know, like art classes. There's e-file, the drill, like you can take classes for that. I think I'm gonna take another class just to, you know, learn new techniques and better my craft. It's such a refresher, just doing things like differently and like maybe getting to the same set, I guess, but just maybe faster or like a little bit easier. So yeah.
I feel like just in general, when you're looking for like a beauty professional, someone taking lots of classes and like always continuing learning and growing is like a really good sign. Like you want to go to someone who's like always trying to like better their craft,
Yes,
basically, and
yeah.
takes it seriously and isn't just like, well, I know how to do it. I'm ready. I'm done.
Just a little bit ago, I said I wanted like to master every single thing before I started the next. And you master it in the sense where you feel comfortable, but I think you always need to like grow because things are changing. With every little thing, they're changing so much, you know. Like new products come up, new techniques come up, and I think as a growing artist, you do need to keep up with that. And so I think that makes you just, even better.
Yeah.
We should be taking more photography classes.
Yeah. Well, Catherine, you can inspire us.
Yeah.
But you guys are always getting into new vibes, new aesthetics, into like the night shoots, right? Like that's new. And I think
it's a whole new journey.
Yeah, night shoots, the video. I feel like we do we play around a lot in the studio. We're always like trying something new.
Yeah, we're always trying to kind of expand our skill set.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think that definitely counts.
Yeah.
For sure.
Okay, so obviously, like, one thing I love is that because I see you in the studio all the time, I just get to watch you do glam every day. And well, not every day, but like every week usually. And I'm learning a lot of fun tips from you constantly.
Yeah.
And so what are some like good tips that you can give the posse for just your general average, like I'm doing my makeup on a regular basis. Like what are some things that people are doing that they should probably stop doing or start doing to help improve their glam game?
Yes, I think, and maybe people have heard it, but I think skincare. Starting with like a good skincare is going to make your makeup go a long way. Sometimes I think we tend to like look at what's trending. You know, that primer that the YouTube influencer put out, or you know, just any product that might be out there, and not thinking that is that product actually going to work for my individual like skin, and then maybe we'll end up hating that product because it wasn't even for us to begin with. So I think looking more closely at like products that go with our skin versus just what is, you know, the hype, and get some of those. I think, you know, you'll find out maybe it does work. There's products that are versatile and maybe work for all skin types, but Do not skip on your skincare. That's going to be like one of the most things that are going to allow that makeup to lay the right way. And not saying your skin has to be perfect, but just use a moisturizer that if you're a little oily, that it's going to be a little more mattifying. If you're a little dry, then it's going to be more hydrating, because if you're dry and you're using a full coverage foundation, then you're going to really hate that, right? So yeah, focus on your skincare and then go off of products that actually work for your skin type. It's kind of why you guys see me like, hey, what's your skin? Even though I just meet our clients for briefly an hour and a half, laying makeup that's going to be for their skin type, even though they're not going to wear it, you know, for like ever, it's going to make it lay really good through the shoot, because it's products that go with their particular skin. Mm-hmm.
For finding the right skincare, do you have like recommendations for where people should start? Because I feel like that's like a whole minefield.
Yeah. Seeing an esthetician, I think it's always good. I mean, they're looking you under a lamp. They can see if you have big pores. They can see if you have any impurities or clogged pores. And just paying attention of like what your skin does throughout the day without makeup. Like, oh yeah, I did get a little shiny. Or people say, oh, I have really dry skin, but it might just be dehydrated. Dry skin is more like you're peeling. Dehydration is more like that. You know, when you wash your face and you still haven't put anything on and it feels like stretchy, like, or not stretchy, but like
tight.
Yes, like tight.
That's me.
Then you just need hydration, and exfoliating is going to be really, really good too, because that gives rid of some of the dead skin on your face, and your makeup will lay a lot better. Dermaplaning has been so good to me. Is when, you know, the shaving of the face.
I love
dermaplaning. No, it makes such a difference of how your skin lays, 100%. And this goes to my brides too, you know, like having a really good skincare, doing some dermaplaning before their wedding. Sometimes if there is question about like, oh, how the makeup is, it's probably because there's not the right products being used or the right preparation prior to that, you know, the makeup session hasn't been done. Like, oh, I hate my eyebrows because maybe haven't, you know, done like the cleanup that we needed to do. Doing that might also like change the whole look too.
Mm-hmm. Speaking of brides, can you give some of our posse brides some tips on like when you are searching for a makeup artist for your wedding?
Yeah.
What you can like look for, what you should maybe be asking during your trial, just to make sure you're finding the right person. Because I had a really horrible experience like trying to find a makeup artist before my wedding. And granted, this was like back in 2017, but I had done multiple trials. I like left all of them crying. And then I eventually spent like 4 months on YouTube watching how to do your wedding makeup, and ended up doing my own makeup for my wedding because I was so like terrified by the process. I just feel like I watch you do it all the time. But.
Yeah, I think is finding the artist that one, you know, kind of goes with like your aesthetic, looking at their Instagram, and also looking for those pictures that aren't the edited ones, right? Like the edited ones are good for you to see what the product will be like. You know, if they have on their Instagram pictures of the photographers that they worked with, then you can see what your makeup will look like. But also those unfiltered ones, like I tend to do a lot of like before and afters and put them on my Instagram with like no filter. Like, this is where we started, this is what we can get to, just so you see like the raw of like what the makeup skill actually did to the face. Showing your makeup artist inspo, like if you're showing her, you know, an eye look, maybe having an eye look that resembles like your eye color. I have so many people sending me like straight up blue, blonde, really light skin, just a total different person. And you might not find the same person like that looks like you, but having those inspo pictures of brides that resemble your look, at least the same skin tone or the same eye color or the same hair color. Some people show me like blonde hair for a hair inspo and their hair is black, right? And so as makeup artists, educating them like, hey, I love the style, and we can definitely do that. Just have in mind that the blonde hair in this picture has so much dimension, and maybe that's what you like because of all her highlights, right? So really talking to them about like, this is what I see. Is that the same thing that you see? Sometimes like there's a time where I was seeing an eyeshadow that was gold and my bride was seeing an eyeshadow that was silver. And so it's
Scary.
In a picture, and it's just like teaching back your clients, like, is this what I am understanding? And then the client, you know, coming back and saying, yes, that's actually what I meant, or no, actually that is not what I meant. And so having open communication, and I think it's a fair game to interview your artist prior to even the trial, prior to even hiring them, and the artist to hire their clients, because not all clients are meant to be our clients, you know? So yeah, picking them based on what they see on their Instagram that fits their vibe, asking questions, just making sure that they do see raw photos of like their makeup, because you know, nowadays you never know when it's all just edited. And even like people, or even pictures that we take with our iPhones, when we upload them, it can be edited. It's gonna suck when the client is expecting something and then you're like, yeah, actually, you know, that was edited. So yeah, just making sure that you are asking all of that and making sure that you guys click, because most likely you will work for a long period of months together, from when you hire them to when your trial to when your wedding day. And so many people, you know, that get married, like they're redoing their wedding, they remember like they're getting ready time, and if it's not positive, like it will stick with them, you know, like, oh, my makeup artist didn't want to do this, or my makeup artist didn't do what I asked and she just went with what she thought was going to work. And we can give our professional opinion, but at the end of the day, it's going to be what our client wants to do. And I think like honoring that is like huge, right?
I was guilty of that for my wedding. Megan, who is one of the posse, she's been on the pod, she was my makeup artist for my wedding, and she had me send her inspo, and she was like, do you realize that every single person you've sent me has brown eyes? And I have green eyes. And I like, it did not even occur to me that like every single person I was looking at was like, had much darker coloring than me, because that was just what I was drawn to. And I had to like be realistic with myself and be like, okay, I have green eyes. It's never going to look as like smoldery, smoky as it does with someone with like dark eyes. So I need to like find someone who looks like me. But I think just like in general, finding people who look like you to like follow, I've talked about this before, like is such a big thing, because getting your inspo from them will make it more realistic, whether it's hair or clothes or makeup or whatever it is. I don't know.
Yeah. And then I think just, you know, again, as a makeup artist, teaching our clients that realistically it's not going to look the same, right? Like a twist on the hair, it probably won't be the same twist, the same amount of hair in the same place as what you're showing me in the picture, and educating them, but like in a way where we don't sound rude, in a way where, you know, like, hey, I have had this experience before. Like it might be just different, even with like nails, right? Like people show me like, this is exactly what I want, and I'm like, I am not a robot. I don't even know what colors they use. We can use my colors, and just like, but like having grace about the way that you teach them. I think it's huge, because in makeup or nails, I've had where like just people have had bad experience and even trauma of like that they didn't speak up because of like the response of like the artist. And that is very shitty, because we as professionals should educate. And I think open communication is gonna go a long ways, you know, with my nail clients, at least because I have them for so long. But yeah, just having that open communication is like huge. And I think that's why I'm so good at this, because of like my social work experience, you know. And I I love it.
It's like why you're such a good photographer, because of your human services background.
Well, also, I mean, while you're sitting and doing people's like hair and nails and makeup, you're talking to them for like that, hour and a half that you're with them. Like, I think a lot of times people sit in the chair, like they talk about it a lot when you get your hair cut, but it's like, it's almost like you're in therapy because you're just like telling your person everything while you're hanging out. And it probably does help that you have the background in social work.
Yes, I love it. I think that's how I can relate a lot of my work from then to now. Just now I get to do something that I really truly love, but I get to have that like socializing and therapy, vibes into the beauty side now. So I don't ever think I'm gonna switch. I think I'm too deep into ever wanting to switch business, anything. But yeah, I love it. Yeah.
I feel like there's definitely like two different types of like attitudes you can have as like a professional who's providing this type of service. Like, there's people like you, I think, who make people feel really comfortable and like safe and communicate with them and ask questions and educate them with grace, like you were saying. Like, we've probably all been to like a hairstylist or someone who was like, their vibe was a little bit like almost intimidating.
Sure,
like if they talk shit about other clients while you're in their chair, or they complain about things a lot, you sort of start to feel like, oh, I don't feel like I can be fully open with this person because I'm scared of how they're going to react. And then that's when you can't tell them like, oh, I want you to tweak this, or, so I feel like it makes the experience so much better when you like approach it that way. Of like, I'm going to treat everyone in a way that makes them feel comfortable.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
One of the things that I love about working with you is that like, I know that I can always like step out of the room to like go take care of something really quickly, and like you and the client are going to have like a great time. Like, I'm not like worried that you're not going to like be able to talk to them or whatever. And I feel like you're really good at just like, making people feel comfortable, like we were just saying. And I know we have a lot of boudoir photographers who listen to our podcast, and something that I think can be challenging is when you get someone who's like super, super shy, and they like, you want to bring them out of their shell, but you also don't want them to feel pressured to like act a certain way. And how do you go about like bringing someone out of their shell who's like really shy when you're doing their makeup?
I always ask if they have any dogs. I think people love to talk about their pets. I know I do. And I think that like that's just like, it's an automatic like switch. Like, oh yeah, I have 2. And I'm like, oh, what are their names? And what kind of dogs are they? When did you get them? How old are they? Or kids. People love to talk about their kids. When I was in social work, I had a questionnaire of like all these questions that we would ask, and I think I just like kind of just switch it to like not the social work like questions, but just like, the personal questions that we used to ask too. So just asking them about them. People love to talk about them. People love to talk, and not in a selfish way, just like, and mostly the people that I've encountered at Naked Peach, and that they like to talk about, things that they care about, and just like the animals, or like, how did you meet your fiance, or, have you done a shoot like this? So yeah. And maybe that's something that we could, I don't know, come up with like a questionnaire for other boudoir photographers, like, hey, these are, or for the makeup artists, right? Because I think it starts there. I think all sessions that start with hair and makeup, that's when the client like really gets out of their shell, and can greatly impact the vibe. But yeah,
I love that idea of a questionnaire though.
I think it would help the artist. It would help, just like have a little bit more direction. I'm there so much, so now it's just like natural for me. You know what I mean? But I can see how that would be difficult for, for other artists. A lot of artists don't come from a background, like a social work background. I mean, there might be, but, I mean, they're just dealing with their own shyness. And then how do you get another shy, how do you help another shy person when you're shy? So yeah, I think it would be good to like have some questions that like, we ask that can help, because then the client is already at another level when they actually start the shoots, instead of it being like, oh, now we have to work through still warming up. When you guys take the client from me, they're already warmed up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah. And I made so many like really good connections from clients from Naked Peach. I think I did one clients' hair for their wedding. I see about 2 clients for nails, like ongoing from Naked Peach. And it's just such a good connection. Like, and I hope that it came from just me being me and talking to them during when they were getting their glam, because that's literally just the times that I had with them until they came to me for nails or makeup and
I love
hair.
that.
Yeah,
you did Claire's wedding makeup and hair, right?
I did Claire's hair.
Okay,
yeah, she did her own makeup. Yeah, Claire's like the sweetest.
The sweetest.
Yeah.
That's so cool. I love that you have people coming back.
Yes, I am so thankful for you guys.
I have an unrelated question.
Yes.
It's kind of back to what we were talking about a little bit back, but will you, because I love this explanation, will you explain to people the difference between natural and neutral glam?
That's such a good question.
Yes. So a natural glam is like the barely there makeup look. You're talking about maybe just mascara on your eyes with a little bit of eyeshadow, maybe a light coverage foundation, maybe a CC cream, your brows lightly, styled, maybe a gloss, blush, maybe bronzer. And then a neutral glam, you're going into like the actual colors of the makeup. So like browns and like creams, and you can have a full glam and do neutral colors. And neutral is basically just talking about the eye. So yes, when looking at like Kim Kardashian's makeup, that's more gonna be neutral.
She is not doing natural glam.
No. And again, that's like communication that as artists, like, hey, this is what I see. Is that what you're getting also? And then just teaching back, just like having those teach back moments is gonna be huge with clients going into like that. Like, yeah, like kind of like what I was telling you with like the bride seeing silver and I'm seeing gold. I would have never been able to like get over that hump having another picture with another gold eyeshadow. Like, this is why I see gold, right? And then she's like, oh, you are right. I was looking at it as silver, and then I showed a silver of what I see as silver. And then just like people just look at visuals and work really well with visuals. So if somebody's like confused about neutral and natural, pulling up a picture of like, this is what natural would be to me. And I love how you guys have those guides of like, oh, this is what like a full glam, this is what a natural glam, this is what a soft glam. Yeah, because then between neutral and natural, then we have like the soft. Different makeup artists just label their soft glam differently. For me, it's like an in-between. Maybe not an intricate eyeshadow look, but you can still have lashes with a soft glam. You could still have a full coverage foundation with a soft glam. So there's a lot, but that's why we're here, to teach people of like what we understand and what we consider that, and then just kind of like making sure that we come into like where we are understanding things the same, as close as to the same as we can get eventually. Yeah.
Speaking of teaching, didn't you start doing mentoring recently?
I did, but permanent jewelry just like took me out of everything. So I started with like nails. I wanted to do more education on nails, but I think my biggest following is like the clientele versus the nail tech. I think in the future, I do go viral and more nail techs start following me, so that it makes more sense to do education. So then when that was like very slow, then a client just reached out and said, hey, can you help me do my makeup? Can you teach me how to do makeup? And then I didn't even have a post about it, and I just posted as a story, and then I got 4 more clients for makeup teaching. It's funny because I paid to have like a whole thing done for nails, and then I did my own for makeup, and the thing that hit was makeup, not nails. But it's like recognizing that like some things are gonna be a flop. Maybe you need to just kind of like look at your following a little bit better. I mean, there's probably gonna be more clients wanting to learn how to do their own makeup than there's gonna be nail techs wanting to learn how to do nails, right? There might be, but maybe I'm just not reaching the audience yet.
So if someone from the posse wanted to learn something, could they DM you and be like, Catherine, please teach me?
Yes,
that's so cool.
Yeah, I have done, like a 2-hour one-on-one session where people will bring their makeup, right? Because remember, like the Mary Kay parties
Yeah.
where we would be like, okay, give me all the things, and then we would go home and like forget how to use it and then never use it again. So I want people to avoid doing that. I want you to bring your makeup with you, and I will see how you're using your makeup, and if there's things that I can recommend. If there's something I can recommend from my kit, then I will do so. But it's so much easier to just learn how to do your makeup. Again, going back into getting products that are trendy that might not work for us, but we just had to have them. So then, yeah, you bring your makeup. I have my makeup kit that works for so many different skin types and different skin tones, and I bring that into like perspective, and it's like, hey, maybe you can swap this for this, so then you don't have to, after our session, go and buy thousands of dollars of new makeup. You're just actually just like knowing how to use your own, and then maybe you pick out 2 or 3 products from what I can recommend, and it's usually like 2 hours, and you come to my studio, and then I have like I put a little kit together of like a makeup brush set that can work for your face and your eyes, and some of my more recommended products like a beauty blender or just little things like that that can just be a tool added to what you already have going on. And that was very successful. I really like doing that. But again, permanent jewelry has taken a little bit over my life right now, so I haven't actually been advertising that, but it would definitely help. And we're going into bridal season, so that's
You're gonna be busy.
Yeah, it's gonna be busy.
Okay, wow. I'm like inspired now because I really want to hire you for a personal class on just eyeliner. I literally just want to learn how to do like I can do my eyeliner.
You have a really good eye for eyeliner.
Thank you. My issue with eyeliner, and maybe other posse members struggle with this, but there are some days where I'm like, okay, I just want like a little wing today, right? Like I just want a little tiny baby wing, and then I like try the baby wing and the baby wing's not working, and then I'll just end up with like a larger wing, and I'm like, okay, like it's fine, but it's like not what I was going for that day. And I feel like that happens every time. And then there's some days where I'm like, okay, I want to do like the bigger wing. And then those days I mess it up so bad that then I end up with a huge wing, and I'm like, this isn't what I was going for either.
Yes.
I just need to do how do I do a standard baby wing? How do I do like a middle wing? And then the days where I want to just really go all out, but not look like I'm in middle school doing the big wing for the first time.
Yeah.
That's my level.
Yes. Oh my God. Yeah. And then just kind of like, for that, I would ask, like, what products are you using? Because some products can get very fast.
Yeah.
And so maybe using something that's a little bit more, like, easy to work with, but it's not, like, oh, my God. Like, one of those things that I hate is, like, the eyeliner that is magnetic for your lashes. I feel like, I'm sorry, but I don't even know. Like, it's already hard to do your lashes, right? It's like one of the main questions I ask is like, how do you do lashes? Like, how do you do like strip lashes? That's one of the hardest thing people have a time with. So then you put having a hard time with that, and then having a hard time with, and then eyeliner, like that's like 2 of the hardest things to do in makeup. And then you put them together, it's a mix
and you're
for
like,
disaster.
it's so easy.
No,
that
and
was like the whole marketing strategy behind those.
Yeah, no. So the eyeliner for like a lash strip isn't, the purpose of it is for it to be put on for your lashes, right? Not the eyeliner for the eyeliner to actually look good.
Yeah.
The purpose isn't for that. It's just for the lash to stick. So then you're working with really shitty eyeliner. I'm not saying that's what you're working with, but
no, I get what you're saying. I'm honestly terrified of that eyeliner, and there's no part of me that believes that there isn't some chemical in there that is gonna eventually make people go blind, you guys. Like, it's magnetic eyeliner. Like, that cannot be good for your eye and eyelid.
Metal on your eyes, right?
It's just like, and there's already so many like sketchy ingredients and so many beauty products in general, but there's something about the next level for me with this magnetic eyeliner. Like, I am so scared of this thing.
Yeah, we definitely can do some of that. Have you ever like done the tape, like putting tape
No, I've seen people do it, but I've never tried it.
That could be like, that is like a guarantee straight line.
Mm-hmm.
You can even like, when you go a little bit too far out, you can like smoke it out and take it off with like concealer or a little bit of like your foundation, just like by smoking it out. And then the tape is always going to be straight. So when you take it out, it's going to look nice and like a really nice line. So that might be another. And it's just like lash tape. You can get it on Amazon.
Yeah.
That might be another.
I'm gonna practice. I'm gonna start doing some daily practice.
Yes. And then always start with like shadow. Like shadow is like great as just a step down from like actually liquid eyeliner. Some people that are unsure of like, oh, I don't know about liner. Well, let's do some eyeshadow liner, because that's like smoky. It's not very harsh, it's not very bold, but it still gives you that darkness that people tend to look for with the eyeliner look.
Yeah.
What product do you use for your liner when you try to do a wing?
I use it's like a liquid eyeliner, you know, like the pens with the tip, but it's liquid.
Yeah. Oh yeah, the felt tip.
It's like the felt tip. Yeah.
I feel like that's the least forgiving type of product.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah, I think so. I use this one cream eyeliner, and it's a bridal proof because it's
which means you can cry.
Yeah, you can cry. I mean, to an extent, right? Like, don't rub your eyes and cry, but yeah, and it's like it has this little liquid with it that makes the eyeliner a little bit more liquefied. So you can have it more creamy, you can have more liquefied, and with that liquid, you can actually make any powder liquid. It's like it's a type of solution. I can send it to you.
Is that gonna make me go blind?
No, but you can. I mean, I've used it on myself and I used it on people, and it hasn't. I think it's. I don't know what kind of liquid it would be. Definitely no metals in there, but. But I will send you the I'll send you the ingredients and then you can check it out. Right. Or just use the eyeliner alone. It's very creamy. Yeah. And I think that gives you a lot of room to like add on.
What eyeliner do you use?
Well, normally like on an everyday basis, I use the Makeup Forever pencil and then I go over it with shadow. So that's what I have on today.
Yeah.
That looks really good.
Thank you. And I feel like I'm usually going for like a little wing with like a little bit of like smokiness to it. So it's not like a perfect crisp wing, but when I want to do like a more crisp look, I have a felt tip liquid liner from NYX that I sometimes use. I have used the Bobbi Brown gel liner in the past and really like that, and it is easier to use. You just like you use like a little tiny brush with it, and like you have a lot more control over it, I feel like, than you do with a pen. And it's also like doesn't instantly dry the second it touches your skin.
And then a really good brush for that type of eyeliner would be really good. It's like a angled brush, just very, very skinny angled brush, which I can send you some recommendations from where I get my brushes. So you could
we'll post them on the story for the but no one else's eyeliner struggles.
I feel like this is like also just to go back to like what you were saying before about like teaching the classes when someone DMs you. I feel like this is just a lesson in like running your business 101 too, is like meeting your audience where they're at and like giving them what they want. Cause like as business owners, like I have like ideas all the time where I'm like, oh, people are going to love this. And then it flops. And like, you have to know that that's just like part of the process, you know, like some of your ideas are going to be flops and some of them are going to hit. And like, it's usually not going to be the ones that you think are going to work or not work. And like when people are asking you for something over and over again, like, that should give you an indication of like where you should go next with like what you add on to your services. And I don't know, it's like it's inspiring me based on like certain things that people ask us all the time. Like we get a lot of requests for education and we haven't done it yet, but that's like I feel like this is reminding me that we should be doing that.
Yeah, and I mean you guys are very known. I mean like the photographers that I came about with, you know, by doing like makeup for like maternity shoots or, you know, family photos, and I have a couple clients and they know who you guys are, so I cannot even imagine how epic it would be if you guys had like a freaking 1-day class. And then now with the video, that like next level for sure.
We love the video.
Yeah, we're actually, Kristen, who was on our podcast, is giving us a little choreography class soon. That we can use for video. So we can tell clients like, okay, move your hips like this, put your hand up here, to really like
Yes.
make the videos pop even more. So that you're
Yes.
not like, what am I supposed to do while you're recording this video?
Yeah, she gave us a little preview yesterday, and it was really good.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Yes. Yeah, I feel like video is just, it's a whole other level of capturing everything.
Yeah.
And yeah, everybody should have a mini video of them.
Right.
Like, yes.
Yes.
I rewatch the ones of you all the time. My own reels on my own page. I'm like, oh, this is great video content.
Well, I'm pretty sure my video that I posted of you is like my most saved thing I've ever posted on Instagram. So
Well, same with one of you. And now I was like slowly crawling out of my shadow ban, and now I am deep in the shadow ban again because of those videos. So
That's so funny.
it's worth it though. They're gonna stay up on the page. Whatever.
yeah. Okay, another thing that I'm always inspired by from you. Well, you influence me a lot to buy stuff.
Oh my God. I hope the good stuff.
It is. Well, I just feel like you have like the most beautiful makeup kit. Like all of her brushes are like pink. Like everything is just cute. Every single thing in your makeup kit is cute.
Thank you.
And I am just always like, oh, I need to get that and I need to get that. And like, I just want to know like what products are you like really wanting to buy right now, or like are there beauty things like on your wish list right now that you're obsessing over?
I want to try more medium to light coverage foundations. I think there's is it Giorgio Armani?
Yeah, Giorgio Armani.
There is a really good foundation that is going very viral, and I want to try that. I'm listening to what I need because I only work with like one OG foundation for medium coverage, so I wanted to get a little bit more luxury, you know. So more foundations for my kit. I'm always looking for really good neutral lip liner. So again, bridal season hasn't officially started for me, so I know when bridal season starts, like I'm doing trials. I think I'm gonna be pushed more into like actually going and looking into more. But I don't know, when you have worked, I think like this is like my third year full on bridal mode. And things just have been working so well for me. I can never have enough eyeshadow palettes, and I've learned my lesson that it's probably just a lot and I shouldn't go and buy. So I have just stuck with like this one brand that has like really large eyeshadow palettes. I think you've seen it, and it's like the one that I just bring with me for all the shoots. It's very like such versatile neutrals and darks, and then maybe just adding another color one. But yeah, I just purchased another palette from them. So I have two. One essentially like a bridal one, and then my Boudoir palette. But yeah, I don't know. I think when we start doing bridal, I should get asked this question again, because I think I'm gonna probably feel different. I think right now I'm just like so into like buying so many things for permanent jewelry that I kind of leave that in the back burner. But also my kit is just already very set. So
what's like the permanent jewelry stuff that you're excited about and buying right now?
I am so obsessed with just buying different types of chain and like connectors and charms and all of that. I don't know, I'm just living like my best life with like, I always love little cute stuff, you know. And so having like different heart charms and smileys and just everything cute, it's like my weakest point. Anything cute is like, I seriously, yeah, I need to stop so that I can so I can actually make money.
Well, literally like everything, not just in your kit, but also your studio. I haven't been to your new space.
I know,
but like,
you guys have to come sometime.
I know, I want to see it.
Yes.
But like everything you have is cute. Like you probably even like your like soldering iron that you use for your permanent jewelry is probably pink.
I wish. It's not. It's black, and it does not go with the aesthetic of my pink. I have
you need to paint it.
Yes, I seriously do.
Yeah.
You know how you can wrap stuff?
Yeah.
I wonder if I can do that. That's a good idea.
Yeah,
That's
you
my
could.
next-
Or like spray paint it. Put that on TikTok. People will love watching you do that.
Yes. I feel wholeheartedly that you have to love the space that you're in. I think even when I was like in my office, everything, like all of like my tape dispenser and my, you know, my stapler and everything, my keyboard, right? Like I get like the colorful keyboard that it's like a typewriter. I will like 100% always spend the money to make the space that I'm in just comfortable. I mean, you're there all the time, and you guys probably can relate, right? Like being at the studio, it's probably like, oh my God, I want to be there all the time, you know? So
yeah.
I'm a huge aesthetic person. Just even like in my home and stuff, I just want like, I want my vibe to be like, to make me feel calm, because I also like, we've talked about this a lot, I can't just like sit in my house and relax if it's like a mess, or if, you know, if like things need to be like put away in their place, then I can just like relax on my couch. And so I want everything to like look nice, and make me feel good.
Yes, for sure. Yeah.
I mean, you've seen what our office looks like in the studio. It's a scary place right now.
It is anxiety central when you walk into that office.
Yeah, and I feel like it has such a huge effect on my mood of like, I feel stressed and chaotic the second I'm in there. So right now our designer Cora is working on setting up like these giant shelves this week and like assembling that room to really be like a functional storage space. And like, I can't wait until it's over because I just hate being in the office right now. Like, love the studio, but the office.
Like, in the one office room.
She is an eyesore at the moment. And it's just like, it's just crazy. Like, I feel like it even affects, like, my blood pressure when I'm in there, you know, just to have clutter around. Like, it's so crazy.
And I think it's, you know, one of those things that, like, it's not talked about being a business owner. It's like how bad it can get from you being so busy. I mean, it got there because you guys are so busy all the time. And my vanity at home does not look anything like my vanity at work, right? Because that's the place where like I get to like I have no time because nobody's looking at it. It's just me. But I can't tell you how many months I've been saying I am going to fix my freaking vanity at home, and it doesn't happen because for a while there I wasn't having a day off, and so it affected me in that aspect where like, well, I want to take care of those things at home, but I can't because I'm so busy, you know. Now I think having a little bit more set schedule, it allows me to be able to take care of things at home because it's so important, you know. It's so important. I think there should be some type of like business owner 101 mental health edition because we are here struggling.
Dude, I know. It's so hard to like manage everything. And like, we've talked about this, like how hard it is to say no to work. Or like, you know, your income is just directly affected by how much you work when you have this type of business. 100%. And so it's like you want to just work, but like at some point you run out of steam and like it affects you mentally.
Oh, yes, it definitely does. And I mean, I think that is such a mind switch when you are expecting, and you guys worked in the like corporate, you know, and we could expect a paycheck every 2 weeks or every week, and it was like, we can plan the trip, we know that paycheck's gonna come. But now it's like, well, I don't know if it's gonna come, you know. It depends if I'm busy or not. And so it's like that struggle and that side of things that, you know, not a lot of people talk about, but it can be done. And we're like walking examples that you can leave that toxic 8 to 5 and thrive in something that you like really love to do. It's not gonna be easy. I've worked more hours than I've ever worked in my 8 to 5.
Same.
You know what I mean? We work 24/7, but it's different. It hits different when it's for you. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
100%. So you can do it.
I feel like, and maybe you felt the same way, but before I just would have this like a lot of this like stress and anxiety about work that was just very like, it's like, you know, you're dreading it, or there's just certain things that you're just like the Sunday scaries or whatever, but you're feeling it every day, and there's all this like, it's like this really negative stress, whereas now a lot of the stuff in my job, it's more of like, it's like a positive stress because it's like I might be stressed about something, but I want to like do good for the clients. I want to do good for it. You know, it's just like all my work directly correlates to like the business growing and the clients and everything. And so it's 100%. Like it's more stress I put on myself because I'm excited to get better at what I'm doing and give a better service to people.
Like you're more encouraged to like want to like grow and do better. And when you said those like those like Sunday jitters, that literally I had forgotten about what that felt like.
Yeah.
Because, oh my God, yes, technically I take Mondays off because I hated Mondays so much at my 8 to 5. I'm like, I'm going to make it a point to have Mondays off because that's going to be like, I want to have positive relationships with Mondays now. So I was like, I'm going to just be off. Do I have every Monday off? Absolutely not, because I will take that one appointment. But like, I think I'm in that phase in my business where I'm like restoring everything that I kind of lost, or, you know, you just kind of lose your self in while building your business in those 3 years. Like your entity becomes like, you and your business become one. Just been within the last year that I realized that, like, I'm like, I became very antisocial. I wasn't hanging out with just my husband and my son, but now it's like, I want to do the things. I want my business to, you know, like when I leave my studio and that's going to be closed, like that's closed, and now I get to do me stuff. And yeah, I think more people should talk about like all the different phases you go through having your business. That's all worth it, but how to work through that, you know, because that's how maybe some business don't survive, because you get so lost in like all of the bad and stressful times. But yeah,
and it's not sustainable to
no,
like overwork
100%
yourself
no.
like that.
I have such a huge support system with like my hubby and my sister-in-law, Letty. Shout out to Letty. She's like I was like, oh my God, if I ever get divorced, you are my sister now. Yeah, she's like coming with me. Hopefully that doesn't never happen, but you just never know.
We love Letty. She's how we met.
Yes, we love her. And yeah, she's just like, she just grounds me into like, she's like 2-3 years older, and so she'll be like, okay, let's think about this, because I'm more like, let me go buy everything, and she's like, do we really need every pink color that you have? And I'm like,
you're like,
no.
yes we do.
Yes. No, but she's just like that, like grounding, and I seriously cannot complain about the support system that allows me to do all of my business stuff, you know. And hopefully, like when you get your like your big, you know, like where you're just like, oh my God, this is actually going so well, it like positively affects them too, you know, because you know, the success will affect everybody in your family. So yeah,
you're like speaking to my soul right now.
Yeah.
No, I think that's an important point too. Just like I feel like ever since I've kind of like taken this leap out of corporate, I have a lot of friends that have told me like, oh, like I like my passion would be to do like X thing, but I just like I can't take the leap, or I'm, you know, too scared, or whatever it might be. And like it's obviously not easy, and there's like a lot of really real like financial consequences and like all these other consequences. But it also, like you said, it's like when you do have like that support system, like that does help so much. And it's like I don't think I could have done this like had, you know, my husband not been like all in too on like, okay, like we're doing this, like, you know, let's go, like you want to do this thing, like I'm, you know, I'm leaping with you, you know, whatever. And it's, I can't imagine doing that without having a partner that was like supportive and there with me and like helping, you know?
And you had a whole baby, like, between. So I can only imagine how, like, scary that probably is.
But, I mean, that's another thing. Like, when I did that, we also had to, like, he thankfully has a job where, like, now the health insurance is, like, through him, you know? So it's, like, I got on his health insurance and, like, our, you know, our baby's, like, on that health insurance. But, like, before that, we were just on separate health insurances through our separate jobs. And there's things like that
too.
I mean, in some ways, like, I was an idiot for leaving a corporate job where I could have had like a really nice cushy maternity leave and then having a baby, and like, you know, that's not like the same. But also like I was able to spend, like, although I went back to work early, like because of the work I do, like I have a more flexible schedule. And so there was,
it didn't even feel like that.
There was like, we had our nanny at home, and there was days where I could like, you know, I could spend a little bit more time with the baby, and then she could go down for a nap, and then I could edit some photos, and then, you know, it's like there's more flexibility than had I just maybe taken like 4 months, let's say, with a corporate job, but then when I had to go back, I would have been right back to the 8 to 5, and then like literally zero seeing her in between those hours. So it's a trade-off.
Yeah, I know. I literally wanted to have a baby before I left my 8 to 5, and I was like, you know what? I will take just not having the baby yet and just figuring it out later, because there is, you know, ways like. Also, my husband has the insurance, and that's why I was able to like leave comfortably into thinking like, oh, there is going to be coverage for me. And that sucks that we have to think about like all those logistics of like, well, will I have insurance? Because business, like having our own insurance as a business, it's so much money. Like if we were to go out here and like purchase an insurance.
Yeah, like private insurance.
No, absolutely not. So
I don't know how anyone does it without a partner.
Yeah. No, I know, but or just be on your parents' insurance, right?
Just before you're 26.
Yes. Start your business before you're 26. Yeah. It's hard. It's not easy, but it's so worth it.
Yeah.
And it's so much more fulfilling.
It is. It's a whole other like type of, you feel really truly successful because it is on you. If you fuck up, it's on you. And if you don't, and if you succeed, it's on you.
All right, let's go into our obsessions.
Let's do it.
I'll go first. I have a really like short one today.
Okay.
So last week I was like, oh, I should stop saying obsessions that you have to buy. And so this week I actually have one that is, well, kind of free, but it's a recipe. So I've been on this kick of this, it's like this lemon chicken Greek soup basically that I have been making on repeat every week, and it's like really easy. I can share the account, but I think it's like Brock Your Body or something, like Instagram. She like does a bunch of like recipes. It's delicious. It's like the perfect thing to like make, and then if you're like putting it in the fridge and like pull it out later in the week or whatever. But I love it. I'm obsessed with it. And especially when, we have these like long meeting days and then we're not eating and we get hangry. It's perfect to just pull it out of the fridge and heat it up. So I'm obsessed.
Okay. I'm going to be making that once you share the recipe.
We'll share
it. Is it avo lemono? Is that the like Greek name of the soup?
I don't know.
Oh, okay. Just me and my fantasy books. There's a book called Ninth House, and one of the characters is obsessed with this Greek lemon soup, and it's called like, I'm sure I'm butchering the name, but avo lemano I think is the name of the soup, and I feel like it's maybe the same recipe.
Maybe,
so
yeah.
I need to make it so I can like feel connected to my character.
Do it, yeah. I also really tweak the recipe a good amount, so I can write my notes that I use to tweak it, just because I just throw in like more veggies, and I don't necessarily, I follow the ingredients, but I don't follow the proportions of the ingredients when I make it.
Yeah.
So
I always add more veggies to a soup. It's just like easy way to get more vegetables.
Yeah, and I want like, when I eat my soups, I want it to be more like a stew. Like I don't want a ton of liquid in every bite. I want like the
chunks.
Substance. Yeah. So
brothy chunks.
Yes.
Love it.
Okay, this week my obsession is, if you follow me on TikTok or Instagram, you've maybe heard me talk about this, but I started following the Curl Healer on TikTok, and she's like this textured hair specialist, and like she has all these videos about like how to take care of your hair depending on like what your texture is. Naturally, my hair is really fine, so that means like the strands are like really skinny, and it's wavy, and I have like apparently been hiding this for years, because when I posted about it, all these people who've known me for a long time were like, I had no idea you had wavy hair.
I had no idea.
It looks so good.
Thank you.
I love it.
Thanks.
Yeah.
I did add a couple curls with the wand today just to like zhuzh it, like second day hair, but I've been following the steps that she suggested for my hair type, and I bought like this specific line of products. The brand is Inner Sense, and it's like for curly and wavy hair, and I've been following like her instructions exactly, and I feel like it's still not exactly where I want it to be. Like I want to try diffusing, I want to try like some other things to make it like a little bit less crazy, but I am really loving being in my wavy hair era and embracing the natural. I think it's going to be
perfect for summer.
Yes.
Yeah. It's going to be so good for summer, yeah.
Blow drying in the summer, there's literally nothing worse.
The worst is when you get out of the shower in the summer, and then if you start to blow dry, you immediately start sweating, and then you're like, why did I just take a shower?
I mean, I take like 10 showers a day in the summer, because I just hate being like sweaty and nasty, but Inner Sense, I'm really loving it. Also, one thing I've noticed is that the girls and the gays and the theys love my curly hair. Like, all of the compliments are from like mostly women, and like no men have complimented me on it except for my husband.
I was gonna say, his Colin complimented you.
Yeah, no, he likes it. Okay. And he's very like, I think you always look beautiful no matter what you do, so he'll always be like, yeah, it looks great. But I kind of love it that like the girls love it and like guys don't. It's like I feel like I'm doing it like more for me.
Is
and,
this
like,
the female gaze?
I think this is the female gaze. So
I love it. I love it. My obsession this week. Mine isn't probably a fun one. I am trying to drink more water, right? So because I am mostly busy all day and I can't get to my water, I need to make it to where like it has more electrolytes. So I have these like packets, it's called Element, and they are this like electrolyte packets. They're sugar free, and I put it in my water and it tastes like a freaking orange lemonade.
Wow.
Ooh.
And it makes me drink more water. And the water like if I'm drinking just one Stanley, it's a lot more than just drinking, just regular water. So that has been like, so I'm so excited for summer and drinking that all day, because it doesn't have any fizz, but the flavor is, and it's salty, and I love that like salty, tangy kind of vibe. So
Where do you buy it from?
Amazon.
Okay.
Yeah, Amazon. It's called Element, but it's LMNT.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
I want to try this.
Try the orange, the citrus, salt, and then the orange something.
Okay.
Those are my favorite.
Okay. The salt thing reminds me of your salt smoothie hack.
Yeah, I put salt in my
yeah,
smoothies.
I saw that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I would love that too.
Yeah.
I have to try that. But yeah, that's been just trying to get more water in, you know?
Yeah. Okay, I'm going to be trying this. Does it taste kind of like Liquid IV?
I like this one better.
Okay.
Yeah.
Liquid IV is like it tastes too like fruit punch-y for me.
Yes. This one doesn't. It's
Okay.
definitely very different. It doesn't even taste like a sugar-free drink. I don't know. I mean, do you drink Stevia or any of those like...
Yeah.
So then you would be okay with like the, I don't know. My husband just hates that sugar-free.
I'm a Diet Coke girl. Like, give me all the fake sugar. Love aspartame.
So yeah, you would love it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm excited to try that.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for joining us
Yes,
this week.
it was so great to be here.
Can you tell the posse where to find you?
Instagram?
Yes.
Yeah. So my Instagram handle is at Catherine, CATHERINE, V as in Victor, Beauty. Yeah, I'm very active on there.
Yes. She is.
And you're having a new website come out relatively soon, right?
Yes, my website is up, but I'm going to add like my permanent jewelry. And then just like, every year you change your vibe. And I had some photos taken. I showed Anna.
They're stunning. She needs to show you when we're done recording.
Yes, I'll show you. And so I have to upload those there. And then I had professional photos of the studio. And yeah, I'll have to work on all of that. So,
oh my God.
Yeah.
Exciting.
Yeah. Yes.
And then you can find us at Naked Peach Boudoir on all the socials, nakedpeachboudoir.com. Am I missing one?
Peach.posse on Instagram.
Yes.
Peach Posse on TikTok.
Yes. We love to chat about the pod, and now we have a special place to do that. So just pod talk.
Yeah. We're still building it up. We're still working on like what our content is going to be there. So right now you'll see a lot of videos from our episodes, which is fun because you can put a face to the name. But also, like, we're going to be posting more stuff on those pages, too. That's just, like, specific for the pod listeners, our posse. And then you can find me at TSmells, TSMELLZ, on all the socials.
And you can find me at Anna McLaughlin Photo.
Type out the whole thing.
The whole thing, baby.
I love it.
And we'll see you next Tuesday.
Bye.
Bye.